Hello. I want to mix some clay today. I feel like doing this. So I have some clay over here that I want to mix. I'm going to take these three, or should I take these two? I think I'm going to take these two and mix these. That's what I'm going to do. That is awesome. These two colors. And by the way, this is coming along. I'm filling in all the cracks. So nice. Okay, these are also reflected in my scarf, as you can see. That is pretty neat. So they're real cold. I have to warm them up, and then I will mix them together. First I make two snakes out of them, and then I twirl them among each other, and I mate them. It's very nice. It's good. It's real good hand exercises. Oh, it's nice. It feels good. And eventually I will make something with this. So now I'm mating them, and we'll see what color will come out of it. I assume some kind of orange, like a terracotta probably. Listening to the Brockwood Park discussions, 1974, with Jiddu Krishnamurti, Dr. David Bohm, and Dr. David Schoenberg. Those are my favorite ones. Those are 7 discussions, 2 discussions per day. That was some kind of weekend retreat. This is a lot of Play-Doh. It is getting also a little bit less liquid. The water has been evaporating out of it. Makes it a little bit harder to knead. But it's okay. It's real nice. What is success? To me, success is making art. Even even if no one is interested in it. No one buys my art. No gallerist wants anything to do with it. They want someone who is already known. It doesn't matter. I see this is an amazing color will come out of this. An amazing flesh color. You will see. Oh my gosh. Oh, awesome. Almost like the sweater. I think it's a bit like the sweater. I mean the t-shirt. great. Really great. I love mixing colors. It's really, really amazing to experiment with that and to come out with colors such as this one here, this pastel green, green gray. I love that color. This is a color that I find earthy and delicious and creamy. I just love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love all pastels, gray shades and stuff. Just supreme. Making things. Making things and enjoying it. And not worrying about other people. Not worrying about fitting in or approval seeking or trying to catch a compliment or taking pittances of compliments from people who feel sorry for you or something. Forget all of that. Make art, okay? Be that shining example for the world, for the teenagers out there. Be that example that says, no, I'm not looking at other people anymore. I'm going within myself. I'm making art. I love myself for just the way I am. Just the way, with everything that society hates. I love myself for it. See how the color is slowly coming along? It's going to be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people want from you or demand or think or pawn off on you or try to talk you into. Doesn't matter. Stand your ground. Say, I am good the way I am. Thank you, everyone. You can go. I am good. I am at home. I'm making art. Okay? You can still acknowledge that you need touch and all of this, you know. And if there's just no one decent around who can appreciate you for who you are, then just don't worry about it. You can cry over it. That you can allow yourself to do. But don't beg anyone. Don't try to convert anyone away from their mundaneness. It doesn't work anyway. Be unmundane. Be the clown. Be the jester. That is what Friedrich Nietzsche means with the clown. Be that free spirit. Oh yeah, this is gonna be my skin color. Oh my God, that is amazing. Wow. That's turning into something else now. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. This is so sensual, you know. I love it. Oh gosh, I love that color. Love that. It looks alive. I am the alien from out of space. Alien resurrection. This is all involuntary patterns. It's a message from out of space. The infinite cosmos does not want anyone to be violent. Okay, this is a fact. The gods that are made by people and put words into their mouth and all of this, that's just an invention that just comes out of whatever violence in there is, came out of the violent mind that created it. Don't buy into it. Don't pick that up. Don't make that your own. Be aware that it is made by someone who is not well. And all religions are made by people who are not well. Okay? We need to become very aware of this. Yeah, this is turning into my skin color now. Oh my gosh, this is like, oh my gosh. I can make masks for Hollywood with this. This is awesome. This is exceeding my wildest expectations. I thought it was gonna be some kind of orange or terracotta color, but it's much lighter. It's more like a nude color. Awesome, awesome, awesome is this. This is awesome. Yeah, it's always phallic in nature because every time you make something elongated, it has a phallic character, but it's not a phallus. It is art. It is a message from the infinite, to be in the flow, to be creative, to make art, to listen to your inner impulses and instincts, and gut instincts, and to be focusing your mind on the creation process of art. That is the most wonderful thing there is. Wonderful. It is wonderful. 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 Absolutely amazing. I don't even want to make a sculpture with this because I don't even want this to harden and then paint over. I want to keep this amazing flesh color. This is so awesome. This is healing. Infinitely healing. It's amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes, I know that my, the thumbnail suggestions that each video clip offers, they are not very good. But, you know, I can't always make a selfie. Sometimes I make a selfie. It's kind of time consuming. I have to first send it to my email address, then I have to put it into my Google Drive, then I have to get it from there into the thumbnail suggestion where it says upload your own thumbnail. So much too much trouble. So I prefer to take one of the 3 suggestions, but they're usually bad. But you know, that's not what my videos are about. They're not a fashion show, they are not a makeup artistry, they are not en vogue. That is for sure. They are modern art, vogue. It's about art. It's not about collectively decided beauty standards. Art is beautiful, and each of us, every single living being is beautiful. Okay? Just don't measure it on some other person's standards. That's, we don't need those. We don't need that. That's very limiting, to be measuring oneself on someone else's or some collective standards. I don't have any standards at all. Everything I create leaps and out and protrudes out and overlaps and overshadows any kind of human-made standard. And it's good like that. And I want everyone to be that way. Make your own standards, make your own. Why standards at all? Just make and be and love yourselves. That's what matters. That's what matters more than anything else. Fantastic. Fantastic. Smells good. Mental illness. Mental illness is caused by the ego, and that causes all these problems. Economical problems, wars, it causes famines, it causes all of these things. Everyone could have everything they wanted if they stepped aside, looked at themselves from above, and really understood that whole picture, that everything starts with a mindset, with ideas, with planning, and it all starts with the mindset. It all starts with the way you feel. And you don't need someone else to make you feel good. You can make yourselves feel good. That is probably the hardest step. That's like step one. And that seems to be the hardest thing to do for people. It's kind of like trying to pull yourself up on your own bootstraps. How can you do this? But you can. You absolutely can. You just have to learn. You have to experiment. You have to change your approach. You have to step out of the comfort zone. You have to observe. You observe those who are making it. What kind of mindsets do they have? What is the mindset of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, yeah, and Donald Trump? What are their mindsets? Do they have empowered mindsets? Yes, they sure do. They are empowered. That comes from within. Comes from within, not from outside, not from approval from your parents or your brother, sister, family, friends, teachers, professors. Doesn't come from that. Oh, this is cool. This is kind of freaky. Oh. It's a bit something that could be featured in a horror movie. Reminds me of the artwork by Patricia Piccinini. She is a really amazing artist. Amazing Australian artist who makes hybrid human animal sculptures. And I see her sculpture photos very often as thumbnails for those conspiracy theory videos, where they actually sell that to you as the chimera, the hybrid that was made to live and being held somewhere in some kind of laboratory. They are making chimeras, they are experimenting with it, but as far as I know, they have not made those grow. And my guess is they're probably not making, even if you made those grow and have a host animal give birth to such a chimera, that chimera would not make it very long. That's, they are too sickly, they are too warped. They are not meant to be mixed because that's taken out of completely out of evolution. Evolution is a very, very slow process. You know, it weeds out the minutest things. Only those that will really be adapted to a certain environment will survive and will be able to live in under those circumstances. So you mix two completely different animals together, chances are that those infants are not gonna survive for very long. So those are all the creations by Patricia Piccinini, you know, and they are in art galleries, and they look very alive and they look very realistic. There are dog human hybrids that she made. They look very realistic and very amazing, just amazing artwork. People actually want to believe these things because it adds excitement to their lives, and they can also, it adds to the unempowerment that they already feel like. What are they doing? They, the government, they. Who is they, first of all? They consists of people like you who are corrupt, very corrupt. But I give you a meat flour anyway. A vegan meat flour. And you're corrupt because you are an animal. And, you know, a monkey is also, most monkeys are corrupt too. They take other animals' food. They do all kinds of mischief. Yeah. They're selfish. You know, that's all it is about. Someone who's corrupt, you know, when unfortunately corruption in humans affects a lot more other beings, not just humans, but it affects the whole planet, the corruption in humans. But the people who are corrupt and who do corrupt things, they don't reflect over these. They don't reflect over the vastness of the consequences from their corruption. Not even the people that are in charge of corporations. They don't reflect on that either. They never even think about it. And then they even mix complacent things into their religions, you know, to make the public not question, make the public get on board with it. They mix all kinds of things into religions and beliefs. In the Christian religion, you know, they take what's already been put in there from previously corrupt people and make it even vaster and modernize it to their advantage, where they try to turn people against solar energy. Jesus Christ would have never turned against solar energy. Never. But you can see how the oil industry has their fingers in it. How they tweak is here and there a little bit, and they put that into talk radio, and then they talk people against certain things, talk them against the hippies, the environmentalists. There's only a tiny percentage of people who care, who are the environmentalists. They what they are doing to us. It's like less than 1% of people who help, who save trees and animals. Okay. But that's being bloated up into some kind of conspiracy then, by the Christians, and then they are being demonized. The environmentalists are being demonized, when in fact the environmentalists are the only ones who are caring. The animal rights activists and environmentalists are the only ones who care on this planet. The only ones who have really deep compassion. You really want a person like this as a life partner. Trust me. That's the only person I want as a life partner, and no one else. Because I can trust that person. I know that person is not gonna kill me during my sleep. I know that person would do everything to save my life. I know that person would do to anything to save animals and the planet. He or she would give their lives to save their dogs and their horses and their pigs. It's those people I want around in my life, and no one else. But the Christian religion has twisted it inside out and upside down for their constituents. And the constituents believe it, hook, line, and sinker. So I need people to become very aware about this. And I see these things here. My brother out there in Europe, he doesn't see these kind of things happening because there's something else happening out there. They're dealing with other things. I see this here happening because I talk to people and I see between A and B. I can connect the dots and get a very crystal clear insight into what's happening and what the religions are doing to people's minds. In Europe, Islam is taking over now. They are reshaping their fashion, their fascism. They are infiltrating the media. They are paying politicians, and so on. And people are getting systematically brainwashed towards Islam. That's what's happening in Europe. I see this with horror. The freedom-loving Europeans are wholeheartedly embracing this fundamentalist, violent Muslim religion with its opposite of freedom. All these hard fought for values in Europe to protect the animals, to protect women, to give us equal rights. All of this they want to just throw away because the media has told them they need to love is the Muslim and the Muslim religion and Sharia law and embrace that. So people buy into it. They wear those scarves. The women are starting to wear hijabs. It's just a fashion, they say. But where does this come from? It comes from fascism. comes from, this is already the first influences into the culture. They'll say it doesn't hurt anyone. Wait, uh, look again in 10 years and see if you can still say that. They have halal, they bleed animals to death. That is their way of slaughtering animals. Do the animal lovers in Europe, do they think that's okay? It's just, do you put that above the animals? Do you put your petty, sholly little social acceptance above all of your own personal values? That is my question. It's shocking to me to see this. It's real shocking to me because I can see this now as a complete outsider. And each time I visited there, it has Islamized itself some more, and people have become ruder and meaner and more cold. Every time I came to visit, I'm not visiting there anymore. That's it. I'm done. I want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with fascism of any sort. I would rather move to a lonely island and live there by myself than live in any kind of fascist dictation. And that's what people make out of democracy. Mhm. People need to become very aware of that. That's why Jonathan Mese said democracy or any kind of system that people have created, none of it works. Records was quoted Winston Churchill saying democracy is the worst system except for all the other ones. Yes, democracy is still the only system that can be applied, of course. But you see that even with such a thing that came originally from Greece, with people having equal voting rights, how much of that, the real true democracy, do we really have? Dortmund. That's Europe. Okay. I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with it. I want my mouth. I want my teeth. I want to be able to breathe and eat and drink and talk. I want to talk and I want to voice my thoughts. I want to share my observations and my philosophy with others. And I want other people to do that too. People, wake up before it's too late. Wake up now and say no to it. Say no to Islam and say no to any kind of fascism and dictation. Say no to religion in general. We don't need it. It has only caused problems in the world. Say yes to love and art. Say yes to the sun. Say yes to the trees. Say yes to the dogs and the horses and the whales and all beings. Say yes to your own bodies. Most people don't do that. Become a clown. Become a jester. See, a clown is the opposite of a mentally ill person. A mentally ill person is mentally ill because they are so busy with their ego. Their egos are so busy, and yet they create themselves a living situation that forces the ego to retract, but that causes the ego to try to come up with even more bizarre and even more bizarre and even more bizarre convolutions of convolutions of convolutions. And then you end up with psychosis. Drop the ego. Don't hate the ego, but let it sleep. Let it go to rest, man. Become a clown. There's nothing wrong with that. Become a clown. It was very interesting for me to see when I was living in LA and I was petitioning for the whales, because I experimented a little bit with that. Sometimes I would dress in a specific way where I know that it would kind of go against the grain of society. And I was observing the reactions of people. Some of them called me spooky. That was around Halloween. But there was a nice guy. He felt sorry. He felt sorry that his friend said that about me. And he came over and he asked me what my name is and where I'm from, and what I'm doing there and what I'm petitioning for. And I told him. I think he did sign my petition. I talked to him for a while. He was a nice guy. He was embarrassed for his friend saying that. I met all kinds of people. Oh my gosh. Religious Christian ministers with lapis lazuli rings on every finger, constantly doing this here. Here are my rings. You see, I'm powerful. All kinds of. One guy, he pulled his pants down and showed me his behind. Man. He almost didn't give me my petition board back. I had to wrestle it out of his hands. He tore the first page off where I already had stood there for 2 hours to get these 6 signatures. And he tears that page, crumples it apart, and says, he's all for the Navy. It's like, wait a minute, this is not against the Navy. This is for the whales. But people have their mental illnesses and their mindsets and their indoctrinated ideas about certain things. And they don't even listen because of that. They don't even hear because of that. I don't know how things are gonna go. It would be great if my videos could make someone feel better and question things. A handful of people could get something out of it, to improve their lives, to improve the lives of other living beings. then I will have done my job. And I'll do this for the rest of my life. This is part of my art. This is part of my activism. My art is also my activism. My activism is also my art. All of this ties in with one another. My blogs too, my books, all of it. And maybe these videos will live on and help people in the future who are more ready for this message. That's what's so beautiful about the internet, that these things they can perpetuate themselves, they can preserve themselves on their own. One day someone will come across my videos and say, oh, she's kind of nice. Let me go find out. I want to meet her. And they email me and they might even say, can you send me a photo of yourself? And I send a photo and I look like Maud, like the 80-year-old grandmother in the film Harold and Maud. And they go, oh my gosh, when did you make these videos? Oh, 50 years ago. No, I don't want to get that old. But I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. There are kids now that are making YouTube videos, and in 50 years, they're gonna be 60 or 70, and they can still watch their videos. All of these videos, so many, not just one little bit of a vacation film, but